Hello again, magical ones. I would like to talk about ancestral connection, which I often do. And those of you who know me and my work know that much of my work is this work. Great sentence, I lost it. The reason why it's coming up for me as what's healing me lately, even though it's healing me often and regularly, I would say it's like a core piece of my healing journey is the ancestral reconnection and repair process. Um, I've kind of been on that journey from since my I would say 29th birthday, like right at the beginning of my Saturn return, which for folks who don't know is like beginning around like 28, 29. So yeah, I was just relaxing in my living room, making my evening um, dinner snack thing. And I was just thinking, and I've been in big trip planning mode because I actually am returning to Scotland again, which I'm extremely excited about for my 35th birthday. Um, and which is Pisces season. So I was in that mode and, obviously thinking about American politics and the American capitalist system, as I often do. I'm sure many of you are right now. And, just so many things about what's happening on the collective scale of humanity, especially in the United States. But of course, that, affects many places because it's an empire. Boo. Like, that's one thing that's always bothered me is like folks who are actively supporting empire, but then like identify with the rebel in Star Wars. And I'm like, do you not understand? What's the missing piece there? Okay. Anywho, I feel it's incredibly important for folks of all backgrounds, but especially white Americans, to reconnect ancestrally to where we originate from, where you originate from, because it's not Turtle Island. We are not indigenous. Um, we have the places we come from. Mine are really all over Europe, but especially the Celtic Isles. I specifically don't call them the British Isles because the British Empire is also on my shit list. And yeah, this UK politics is its own world and a history that I'm very interested in, and it has been an essential part of my ancestral reconnection journey because that's kind of the whole thing of it is you learn where you come from and what has happened between you being here right now and as far back to ancient times. Like, that's really important history to know about your people, regardless of who your people are. It's essential knowledge. And because it's not taught in schools, including graduate schools, or at least the one that I went to was more so just speaking about those sort of things from a purely Eastern spiritual perspective, but it was predominantly taught by white teachers. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I found my way onto ancestral reconnection journey by way of or after my like white person yoga like thing. And I deeply love yoga and yeah, that tradition and where it comes from, but it is not my tradition. It's not where I come from. So it's been extremely powerful on a personal level and has impacted all areas of my life for the better. Um, Intentionally getting curious and researching in a variety of ways and centering the spiritual practices of the people I come from, even though there's so much I don't know and there's so much history that's not available and never will be. So, all of that to say, in a time where white nationalism is rampant and fascism is clearly stated and given control, I feel it's a really valuable journey that I think a lot of white folks could really benefit from reconsidering going down. I really, 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 if I could wave a magic wand and inspire that, um, I think that would be a really positive evolution for us as a global humanity. The more people know their true roots and what that means in the context of now and who they are, it's really essential. And another aspect of it that's been super essential and totally unexpected for me is having a true embodied sense of my ancestors' unconditional love for me. It's really it's just very profound once you feel it, once you know it. And it takes a lot of self energy, like courage, creativity, um, compassion, definitely those three, to do ancestral reconnection work. Um, but I think it's incredibly potent, incredibly holistic, and incredibly essential for the world that we are moving into, whether we like it or not. So, in order to evolve, we also must know where we come from and put that in today's context. So, um, yeah, if you're curious about ancestral reconnection and repair, or you're on that journey yourself, like, I'd be so curious to hear from you about um, anything you'd be willing to share about your experience of that, or your fears around that, or your questions around that, or your even just general thoughts, conceptions, your own sense of that. I'd be extremely curious. Um, so yeah, let me know, and I'll make a response video or write back. But that's what internal self, wise self says is a very important way. It's not the only way. There are many ways that we are needing as we build the new web. But this is definitely one of them, and especially for um, white folks of European descent. I don't think we can get around it anymore. I really, if we want to get out of what we're in, I really don't think there's any other way. I think it's extremely important. So, those are my thoughts. Okay, bye. Sláinte.